Welcome student. Myself Dr. Poonam Agrawal, Assistant Professor and Head, Department of Chemistry, Sri RLT College of Science. Welcome you for this video lecture of Inorganic Chemistry Practical BSc first year semester 1, that is qualitative analysis of acidic and basic radical. In the last video lecture we have seen about what is acidic radical. Anions from the salt, they are called as acidic radical, and what are basic radical? Cation from the salt, they are called as basic radical. Now these acidic radicals are grouped in three types, that is group 1, group 2 and other radical. Group 1 contains this radical, group 2 contains ClBrI, and in other group NO3 dinegative and SO4 dinegative acidic radicals are there. Similarly, I have already told you that this slide is very important in view of university examination, that is these basic radicals are also grouped in different types. The group of 0, that is NH4 positive ammonium radical lie in group 0. Group 1 contain Pb di positive, Hg positive, Ag positive, etc. Group reagent is dilute HCl and it is precipitated out in the form of chloride. Group 2 contains Cu, Cd, Hg, As, Sb, all these radical, and it is the group reagent of this group 2, it is H2S gas, warm dilute HCl plus H2S gas, and it is precipitated out in the form of sulfides. Then group 3A, it contains these three radical, Fe tripositive, Cr tripositive and Al tripositive. Here Cr is required, NH4Cl and NH4OH, these are the group reagent and they can be precipitated out in the form of hydroxide. Group 3rd B, CO dipositive, Mn dipositive, Ni dipositive and Zn dipositive. 4 radicals are there. The question may be like this: which one of the following is not belong to 3rd B group? Which one of the following belongs to 3rd B group? So please refer this slide twice, as well as the booklet PDF which we have given you. Again and again read this, all the reagent group, basic radical present in this group, a particular group, and so that you can easily answer the question. Fe tripositive, Cr tripositive, Al tripositive, these three radicals are in 3rd A. NH4Cl and NH4OH is its group reagent and they can be precipitated out in the form of hydroxide. Then CO dipositive, Mn dipositive, Ni dipositive and Zn dipositive, these 4 radicals belong to 3rd B. The group reagent is NH4Cl, NH4OH with H2S gas. They can be precipitated out in the form of sulfides. Then group 4 contain these 3 radicals, Ba dipositive, Ca dipositive and Sr dipositive, and ammonium carbonate is its group reagent. So naturally they can precipitate out in the form of carbonates. Then I have told you that after addition of, first of all, the identification of acidic radical. So whenever we add dilute HCl to the mixture of acidic radical, if we get some gas, evolution of gas, then definitely first group radical is present. Now see, observe the color and odor of that gas. If the colorless and odorless gas is there, which turns lime water milky, then carbonate, CO3 dinegative is present. If colorless gas with pungent smell is there, then sulfite is present, SO3 dinegative. If colorless gas with smell of rotten egg is evolved, then sulfide is present, and if light brown gas having a pungent smell is evolved, then nitrite is present. Okay, so on the basis of the color and odor you can identify which radical is present. If there is no evolution of gas, then we can say that first group radicals are absent. Then for the second group acidic radical mixture, you have to throw out first group radical mixture. In this case, you for every step you have to take a fresh mixture, small quantity of fresh mixture. So mixture plus dilute HCl plus dilute AgNO3. So with the help of this we can identify the second group radical. See the formation of precipitate and color. If white precipitate, which is soluble in ammonium hydroxide is formed, then chloride radical is present. If yellow precipitate is formed, which is partially soluble in ammonium hydroxide, then bromide radical is there. If a yellow precipitate which is insoluble in NH4, then iodide may be present. We cannot confirm this radical on the basis of this test only. We have to perform some confirmative test of this radical. But this is a preliminary test. We can say that after addition of dilute HCl and AgNO3, if you get the formation of precipitate, then observe the color of that precipitate. If it is white, which is soluble in ammonium hydroxide, chloride is present. If it is yellow, which is partially soluble in ammonium hydroxide, then bromide, and a yellow color which is insoluble in NH4OH, then iodide is present. Then the presence of this Cl radical, chloride radical, can be confirmed on the basis of chromyl chloride test. Which test we can use for the confirmation of chloride? It is a chromyl chloride test for chlorine. Chromyl chloride test we can use for the identification of chloride acidic radical. Now what is this test? Take a mixture, add potassium dichromate to it, add some quantity, few drops of this concentrated H2SO4, heat this mixture and pass the gas through NaOH. This NaOH solution turns yellow, and when you add acetic acid to it, it forms the yellow precipitate. This confirms the presence of Cl negative acidic radical. So which is a confirmative test of Cl negative? It is a chromyl chloride test for chloride ion, not chlorine, for chloride ion. Okay, so mixture plus potassium dichromate, few drops of concentrated H2SO4, heat and pass the gas through NaOH. Then you get this NaOH solution, which is a colorless solution. It turns yellow first, and after adding acetic acid to it, it forms the yellow precipitate. Similarly, bromide and iodide radicals are confirmed on the basis of layer test. Note down this point again. Bromide and iodide Cl is confirmed on the basis of chromyl chloride test, and bromide and iodide radicals are confirmed on the basis of this layer test. Now consider how this layer test we can perform. Take a mixture, add again few drops of concentrated HNO3. Then heat this mixture content till the color becomes yellow. Allow this solution to cool. After cooling it, add few drops of CCl4 and observe the test tube. If you get orange red layer, then Br negative is confirmed, and if you get violet layer, then iodide is confirmed. So note down this color, a big orange color, Br negative, bromide acidic radical is present. If violet color, iodide radical is present. So chromyl chloride test is for chloride radical, layer test is for bromide and iodide, orange red layer, Br negative, violet layer, I negative. Then test for nitrate, mixture plus dilute HCl plus concentrated HNO3 and add FeSO4. Then brown ring at the junction. At the top of the test tube, you will get the formation of brown ring which confirm the presence of NO3 negative radical. And simple test is there for sulfate, mixture plus dilute HCl plus BaCl2, a white precipitate is formed which confirm the I negative acidic radical. So these are the tests for acidic radical. These four tests are very important. See the colors. The question may be asked regarding the colors of this. Again, chromyl chloride test is used for the identification of chloride. Layer test for bromide and iodide. Orange color layer confirms the Br negative. Violet color layer confirms the I negative. Then the test for the nitrate and sulfate. Brown ring at the junction. Ring test, NO3 negative is confirmed, and for sulfate, white precipitate after addition of dilute HCl and barium chloride. Then for the basic radical, we have to perform first of all the preliminary test. That is, observe the state, whether the substance mixture given it is in solid state or liquid state. Then observe the color, odor. Pink color is there, then cobalt may be present. Greenish color is there. Nickel may be present, blue color copper is present. On the basis of this, we can get a rough idea of different basic radical. Then observe the order of the solution. If ammoniacal smell is there to the mixture, then definitely NH4 positive radical is present. So in this way, these are the preliminary. Then check the solubility. This solubility checking is very important in view of preparation of original solution also. First of all, take some small quantity of mixture and add water to it. Check it very well if it dissolve or not dissolve. Then I suppose the mixture is not dissolved, then heat it. So maybe the mixture may be soluble in hot water. If it is not soluble in cold water, check the solubility in hot water. If it is soluble in hot water, definitely it's soluble in dilute HCl and concentrated HCl. If it is not soluble in these two, then check the solubility in dilute HCl and later with concentrated HCl. Then next step is preparation of this original solution. Suppose the mixture is soluble in hot water. Then take maximum quantity provided to you in a conical test tube and add water to it. Prepare by heating, prepared a clear, transparent original solution. We call this solution as a OS, and all the tests now we can perform all the tests of basic radical in this solution only. Okay, for acidic radical, every time we take some small quantity of mixture, but in case of basic radical, we can take all the tests in the original solution. And how can we prepare this original solution? By checking the solubility of the salt. If it is soluble in dilute HCl, prepare the original solution in dilute HCl. If it is soluble in water, prepare the original solution in water. Then these are the different steps. Add a few drops of dilute hydrochloric acid. We know that HCl is a group reagent for first group radical, and they are precipitated in the form of chloride. If PPT is formed, first group radical is present. If precipitate is not formed, precipitate means what? Clear solution आहे आणि त्याच्यामध्ये तुम्हाला काही सॉलिड मिळत असेल, ठीक आहे, त्याच्यातनं काही सॉलिड मिळत असेल तर ते झाला precipitate त्याला म्हणतो. If we get the formation of precipitate, first group radical is present. Filter that precipitate, and in that precipitate check out the first group radical. If no precipitate is there, then directly perform the second group test. But in case of precipitate, filter it, and that filtrate we can use for the next group radical. Then for case of second group radical, after addition dilute HCl, heat it and pass H2S gas through it. That is H2S gas, dilute HCl, hot dilute HCl and H2S gas. We can say that it is a group reagent for second group radical. This can be precipitated in the form of sulfide. If PPT is formed, again second group radical is present. If no PPT is formed, second group radicals are absent. अगर PPT मिल रहा है तो फिर से हम उसको फिल्टर करेंगे, और जो सॉलिड हमें मिला है उसमें हम सेकेंड ग्रुप रेडिकल चेक करेंगे, और जो नीचे लिक्विड रहेगा, फिल्ट्रेट रहेगा, उसमें हम थर्ड ग्रुप के लिए प्रोसीड करेंगे. ये प्रोसेस हम कंटिन्यू करेंगे स्टिल वी गेट द फॉर्मेशन ऑफ टू बेसिक रेडिकल. जब तक हम दो बेसिक रेडिकल आइडेंटिफाई नहीं कर लेते, वी कैन कंटिन्यू दिस process. Then for third A, NH4Cl and NH4OH is a group reagent. To the filtrate or the original solution, add NH4Cl and NH4OH in excess. If precipitate is formed, third A group radical is present. If precipitate is not formed, third A group radicals are absent. Then for third B, again we have to pass hydrogen sulfide. That is this group reagent is H2S, NH4Cl, NH4OH and H2S, and they can be precipitated out in the form of sulfide. If PPT is formed, then third B group radicals are present. If no PPT, third B group radicals are absent. Then we will go for the fourth group. Add ammonium carbonate to the original solution. Then white precipitate is formed. For even calcium, strontium or barium, all we get the formation of white precipitate. Then fourth group radical is present. Clear? In case of third B, अगर precipitate मिल रहा है तो cobalt, generally we can perform a bead test for cobalt radical. You read bead test for cobalt from the textbook also. I will explain it in the next video lecture. Then for जैसे हम लोग particularly यहाँ पे radical मिलने के बाद वो PPT में वहाँ पे उसको चेक करते हैं कि कौन सा वो ग्रुप में का रिएजेंट उसमें रेडिकल उसमें प्रेजेंट है. So if there is a cobalt, we can make a cobalt bead test for the cobalt, which is a confirmative test for the cobalt. After addition of ammonium carbonate, white precipitate is formed. Ca, Ba or Sr may be present. So fourth group radical may be present. If we do not get the PPT, then fourth group radical is absent. At the starting, I have told you regarding the ammonium radical test, which is a zero group element. Original solution plus NaOH. If smell of ammonia gas is there, and before which we can keep this rod dip in concentrated HCl, then we get the formation of dense white fume, which confirms the presence of ammonium radical. And for magnesium, Mg positive, ammonium chloride and ammonium phosphate with excess of ammonium hydroxide, a white precipitate of magnesium hydroxide is formed, magnesium phosphate is formed, then this Mg positive is confirmed. In this way, we can check out which group radical is present. This is a very preliminary video for the identification of which group is present. Related to the group reagent, read the slide twice. Related to the group reagent, group radical, which radicals are present in which group, and they are precipitated out in the form of which compound, you can read it very carefully. Cobalt bead test, read carefully. Chromyl chloride test is there, layer test is there, and observe the color. Thank you. We will discuss in the next video regarding the details of this group reagent. Thank you.